Right, it's the 1st of December, and this is the most worrying piece of news I've ever had in Football Manager. Our board have slashed our wage bill, or our wage budget, sorry, by £7,000. That's a ridiculous amount of money, and I will tell you why. First of all, we're currently spending £47,600 per week, which means we're £7,000 over our wage budget now. Next up, Daniel Everson has played 50 competitive games for Leicester, which means we got £140,000 or something like that, which I immediately threw the 40 grand that we got into our transfer budget into our wage budget, and I've brought in a new goalkeeper. And he's not on a lot of money. Honestly, £600 per week is not a huge amount of money. For a year, yes, he's a bit old, he's 33, but he's also a very good goalkeeper, is Valeri Yurchuk. But now, we're £7,000 over our wage budget. We literally can't come back from that. So, looking at the squad sorted by wage, Matthias Jorgensen is nearly £4,000 per week. He is leaving on a free transfer. He's decided that. Let's get him transfer listed. Montano is £3,500 a week, but I genuinely don't want to sell him. I think he can do a job for us for a few more seasons. Elias Sorensen wants to start more games. He's on £2,500 a week. I think it's time you get back on the transfer list. Eddie Gomez, yes, fully aware he's getting paid a fair amount of money, but he's only got a year contract. Gardegard getting paid a lot of money. So is Zeus, who is transfer listed. So hopefully we can shift him on in January. Mortensen, I mean, we're starting to get into players who aren't getting paid massive amounts of money. So I don't really know what else we can do. We've got some players. We've got Uzanidis, who is transfer listed, who's going to be leaving on a free. Tranberg is also transfer listed, so that's £2,500 there. What else have we got? I mean, somebody wants Strunk, but he's getting paid nothing, and I don't want to sell him. Kayat's out of contract in 29 days, but that's only £700 per week as well, so it's not really a lot. And I'm not sure what I'm expecting to see here, but our under-19s, yeah, we've not got many people getting paid huge amounts of money. £275 per week for this guy, but I think there's potential there, isn't there? So we don't want to get rid of him. So yeah, we're kind of in a situation where I think we probably need to just sell some people. We just need to sell some high earners, and maybe next season, if we don't get promoted next season, we might just need to rely on our youth players and free transfers who are getting paid small amounts of money, like your majors and people like that, because £700 per week for a player who right now has scored us 9 goals and 11 starts, if you include the cup game, 12 goals in 13 starts, I think we're getting our money's worth there, aren't we? Anyway, as we have stopped on the 1st of December, which is now the 2nd of December, because I accidentally pressed the spacebar button, we are currently sat second place in the table behind an already qualified Viborg. 10 wins, 3 draws, 2 defeats, 33 points on the board. We've done quite well since we were last here. We have beaten Vendersil 3-0. We've beaten Koga 4-0, which was ridiculous, by the way. I don't really know how we did so well against the team in second place. We beat Helsingor 3-2. That was a close one. And then we beat our house as well 2-1. Eddie Gomez, Mads Larsson on the score sheet for this one. So we are looking pretty good. We are probably 2 wins away from qualifying, which is good. That's what we want to be doing. We want to be going through to the next round. And if we finish the league where we currently sit, we will be getting promoted. What we're going to do next, though, is we're going to go forward to January, where I'm going to hopefully do some transfer business. And it's going to be mainly selling. We're going to play Lingby and Frederica as well before we get there. But I'll tell you what happens when we get to January. Right, there is a lot to catch you guys up on. It is the 1st of February. We've gone through the January transfer window. There has been a mass exodus of players. You can see on the right hand side of the screen our wage budget. We are now under our wage budget, and we will go lower as well. We have got rid of a lot of people on permanent deals. The only player that we actually got money for is Yassine Bourhain, which I'm annoyed that we sold him, because I think he's good, but he's our 3rd best central midfielder, so he never actually played for us. We got £35,000 for him, which is good money, which went into the wage budget, and also we got his wages off the bill. Con Uzanidis has left on a loan deal until the end of the season when his contract expires. He is signed for our house, and I think they're paying half, £650 a week of his wages, or we're paying that. Basically, we've got rid of some of Con's money, which is good and helpful. Mads Borchers is a similar situation, going on loan to Thisted. They're paying some of his wages. Again, I'm not sure whether we're paying £50 a week or they're paying £50 a week. Either way, he's gone out on loan, and I think he's out of contract at the end of the season. Jesper Lauritsen, another player who's gone out on loan. He's gone out on loan to Hobro. He's got a year and a half left on his contract. That's what it is. And he's gone out on loan to the end of this season. We're paying a small amount of money. Hobro basically covering most of his wages. Damien van der Vaart has also left the club on a loan deal because his dad left. So I went, why are we keeping you about? His dad is now the assistant manager somewhere else in Denmark, I think. And the big one is Mathias Jorgensen has signed for Lyngby on a free transfer. He scored 5 goals for us this season with 7 assists. And he's gone on a free transfer. Like, not even any sell-ons or anything like that. Yes, we've got rid of a big salary, but we've also got rid of a very big and very useful name for us as well. But don't worry, we have brought in some players, 2 of them on loan, and we've also brought in somebody on a permanent deal, and I don't know why I did it, okay? We'll get to him in a minute. I don't know why we did it. Fabio Jallo is the first one to join, Portuguese winger, who we actually agreed to sign in the summer, but for some reason we couldn't sign him until now. I think it's his age. I think because he wasn't 18, we weren't able to get him in. Now he is 18. He's in on loan until the end of the season. It's costing us nothing. And we've also got Jack Butterfield back because we've lost Jorgensen. We probably need another striker/winger. Butterfield can do the job, costing us nothing. And we've signed Danny van den Heuvel, who is a goalkeeper, formerly of Ajax, formerly of Leeds. He's cost us £625 per week. He is our 5th choice goalkeeper, 4th choice goalkeeper. I brought him in because I was expecting Zeus to leave. Zeus hasn't left. It means this is the state of our squad, and it is going to get smaller. I've sorted it by what we're training people as, so it kind of gives you an idea of the positions and the depth that we have. We've got 3 goalkeepers in the first team, Gardegaard, Van den Heuvel and Jurchuk. I've dropped Zeus to the B team to try and discourage him and maybe get a move that way. I don't think it's going to work. We've got Mortensen and Svensson as our right backs. We've got 5 central defenders. However, one of them is leaving. Eddie Gomez is transfer listed. He's going to be leaving in the summer. Tramberg is transfer listed. Block is still here. Block is probably the only of our defenders who I think is going to be sticking around. Hubner, we'll come to him in a minute. And Tamir Glazer, he's going to be leaving as well on a free transfer, going back to Israel. Winfield and Markinic will be our fullback options. Larsen, Strunk and De Beer will be our central midfield options. De Beer's not really a central midfielder, but we need some people who can play there. On the wings, we've got Hobu, Jallo and Montano. We've got Sorensen, Major, McCurry, Holton and Butterfield as our striking options. 2 players we need to talk about, Justin Hubner and Matteo Major. They're out of contract in 5 months. We have been unable to get them a new deal because, well, Major in particular, because he wants a lot of money. Can we do this? We can give him 11 months. That's not long enough. That's not long enough, is it? Let's do 1-1. I mean, we're going to have to do it because I don't want to lose him in 6 months, but 11 months is not long enough. Justin Hubner, similar situation. I think we need to give him a new deal as well. If you want more than £1,000. Okay, right, you're fine. You're easy to please. In fact, that's a pay cut, isn't it? It's not a pay cut, but he's not getting paid a lot in the first place. Anyway, that is the current state of our squad. We probably need to look at getting some depth, particularly in central midfield, from our youth team. And from a B team perspective, we've got no central midfielders in there. They're all defenders and goalkeepers. And from our under-19s, they're not really any good, are they? So we've got Niklas Jensen. I think we need to put Jensen in the first team at 16, which is not good, but it's depth, isn't it? Nikolai Lund as well. I think Lund needs to get into the first team. He's 18. He probably should have been pushed up in the first team a while ago. I mean, we do have players with high potential. So there is that option. Malak Amir, we can put him in the first team as well. We know he's got some potential. I agreed this a while ago. I found a Honduran goalkeeper. I don't think he's any good, but he was free. And we're bringing him in. He won't join until that's a long time. That's like a year and a half. That's nearly 2 years away. Anyway, that's where we are when it comes to our squad. This episode's a mess, isn't it? Speaking of a mess, fixtures. We've played 2 more since we were last here. We have lost 3-0 against Lyngby, which is why I brought in a new goalkeeper. And then we beat Frederica 2-1. We have then beaten Alcoron 6-4. We've then got a We Need Money friendly league, shall we say, which luckily for us is on TV, which gives us a bit more money. with Brentford, Sparta Praha and Hajduk. And I'm hoping, because we've got a decent-sized stadium, that earns us a fair amount of cash. We might need to do this in the summer as well, a couple of times. Speaking of the We Need Money League, we're going to go to the other end of it. I'm going to look now, we're going to benchmark minus £3.022 million. Let's come back after that league has taken place and see what it's done to our finances. So, the We Need Money tournament is finished, and we did absolutely awfully in it because we're not very good at football. Hajduk, I still don't know how to pronounce that. They've won the league, 9 points, winning every single game. Sparta Praha in second, Brentford in third. They won one match against us. What did it do for our finances? Now, I know from a video perspective it was seconds ago, but to me, that says we've made money, right? Not a lot, 100,000, maybe something along those lines. 144,000 from gate receipts, 75 grand from TV revenue. Surely that's not just that one competition that's given us all of that money from TV revenue. It was. It actually was. £75,000 from the We Need Money tournament from TV revenue. That's ridiculous. We've only made 18.5, or nearly 19 grand, from our actual league. So with that in mind, in the summer, I don't think we can do it at the moment, can we? No, so this is going to be the second phase of the league. In the summer, we're going to arrange another one of those, hopefully with some even bigger teams. So just checking the other matches as well. The Brentford-Sparta Praha game sold 3,500 tickets. All of ours were just under 2,000. So they've nearly doubled. In fact, they probably have doubled the amount of people that attended. We're still well under the capacity of the stadium, which is 17,000. So if we get some big teams, if we get a derby match in there, let's get an Inter and an AC Milan. Dream big, Stuart. Dream big. Inter and AC Milan. That's a sellout, right? That's 17,000 people watching that. Anyway, this episode has gone on for far too long. Also, Major and our defender, who I've forgotten his name, have signed a new contract as well, so that is good to see. We're going to go forward to the end of the preliminary phase. We're going to play the final two games. We've also qualified, so we're definitely in there. We'll play the final two games, and then we will return for the promotion phase. Right, this episode is very, very long, but that's fine. Sometimes we need to do a long episode. We are currently sat second place in the table. We've got 2 games left to play of the preliminary phase. We have brought in 2 new players, and I don't know whether this was a good idea. First of all, central midfielder, Paraguayan central midfielder Walter Rodriguez signed on a free transfer. Both of these players have come in on free transfers. I think he's very good. I brought him in because we didn't have a huge amount of central midfielders, and I think we may have replaced Strunk or Larson, or maybe both, because the next person we brought in as well is a central midfielder. Rodriguez, £600 per week, not a huge amount of money. Shivani Willis, however, is on £1,200 a week, and he was a player, if you remember last season, I said I really wanted to sign him, and we've actually gone and done it. He is a ball-winning midfielder, I think, or is he a box-to-box? Maybe he's a box-to-box, because he's quite attacking. I use this shape more than the numbers, which is probably the wrong way of doing it. But Shivani Willis, I'm very happy he's here, but I don't know whether this is a good idea. I also wasn't supposed to rhyme all of that, but here we are. This is the best 11, according to my new assistant manager, Lars Sorensen. Don't worry, he's not going to be here forever. We're going to get him somebody basically a lot better. Eventually, once we can have some money, you know. They reckon Walter Rodriguez and Nicholas Strunk are now the 2 best central midfielders. I think Willis is probably very close to being one of the best central midfielders as well. But we've gone and basically re-strengthened our side, I think. I think we've done a good job. And this is the current shape of the team. You can skim through very, very quickly. We need to put Jensen as a box-to-box, sure. That's kind of the current situation that we've got. There's probably some more holes, but for the moment, this is all we can do. We're over our wage budget again. Right, let's play these final 2 games. First up then is Hvidore, sure, that's what we're going to call them. It is going to be Jurchuk in goal, Mortensen, Gomez, De Beer and Winfield in defence. Rodriguez and Willis on the wings, I was going to say, in central midfield. Both of them making their debuts. Yes, it kind of sucks that we've dropped Strunk and we've dropped Larson. However, I want to play Rodriguez and Willis. I'm going to ruin this entire episode, aren't I? It's going to be Jallo and Montano on the wings, Holton and Mayer as our strikers. Our sub-bench actually looks pretty strong nowadays, does it not? So obviously we are into the promotion phase, and we just need to basically win the final 2 games, and then once we go into the promotion phase, just keep trying to win. It sounds really obvious, because that's how football works, but if we keep winning and we finish in 2nd place, let's face it, 1st is probably a little bit too far away nowadays, we'll be going up to the Superliga. 7 minutes on the clock, and we've got the first highlight. Gomez doesn't actually get the header. De Beer in a central defence today, because we don't really have a huge amount of central defenders. Jallo's not going to win that headed effort, and it is now Carlson with the ball. Clement, ball over the top, intercepted easily by Winfield. Back to the Ukrainian goalkeeper, Yurchuk, who's found Mayer, who's flicked his head onto nobody. I don't know what's happening here. Are we going to steal this? We're not going to steal this. It's fallen for Rodriguez. Mortensen, ball over towards Jallo on that right-hand side. Can he get the cross in? There's 3 in the box. He's dodged 1 tackle. He's dodged a 2nd. Holton's there, and Holton finds the back of the net. All credit has to go to the Barnsley loanee Fabio Jallo, because that was ridiculous. And literally seconds later, we kick off another highlight. Willis just smashes it down the line, and Winfield is going to get there first. Another of the Barnsley loanees stops and holds up play, plays it on the ground. It's Montano, it's fallen for Holton again, and Emil Holton gets his 10th goal of the season. I was worried when we literally ripped our team apart earlier on in this episode. I was worried that we were going to struggle and we might just throw this away towards the end of the season. So far, things are looking good. Corner for Jallo to take it. Gomez is at the front. Gomez hits the bar. Could be 3. Willis is going to hopefully get there. He doesn't manage it. And Hvdore can clear. Gomez, weird header back to nobody. And sensible foul there from Rodriguez. Quite a lot of action going on in this game. And Emil Holton's picked up a red card. He scored twice and gets a straight red card. What a clown. This is going to sound weird, but we're going to leave it like that. With Mayer off to the left-hand side, because Jallo is hopefully... Can we even see? There's a way to do it, isn't there? Where you can have the squares. Basically, Jallo should cover all of this area. So Holton's had a very eventful first 21 minutes. 2 goals, a red card to his name. We should hopefully still be able to just hold on. We've got the lead, and that's realistically the hard part out of the way. We just need to not concede 2 goals. Jallo to Mortensen, now Rodriguez. Ball upfield to the lone striker Mayer, takes a few touches, tries to side foot it outside of the foot, actually past the keeper, but it's saved. Jallo's gone over to take the corner. Gomez at the front, that's what we want to see. Or De Beer, it goes towards De Beer. It's a header clear. 10 minutes left of the first half. Willis with a clearance for us. Montano can't quite get the ball under control, and it's a good save from Yurchuk. And the worrying thing, that was not the highlight. Yurchuk's going for a wander, just in his penalty area. Eventually kicks it long over the halfway line to nobody. Mayer heads down, though, to Montano. On the ground, Mayer, no options other than to go for goal. It's well blocked. It's fallen for Shivani Willis, and Willis's effort is blocked. Mayer's effort goes wide of the post as well. We are looking very, very good, even with 10 men. Still not quite at half-time. Mayer's in on goal again. This time, Brylov comes out, collects it in front of the striker, and it's kicked over the halfway line. Headed down as well. Thompson to Petri. He's in on goal. Yurchuk can't stop that one, and Lasse Petri makes it 2-1. Right, maybe that red card might not be so helpful. I mean, obviously it's not helpful. We're down to 10 men. But that red card might cost us, because they've got a way back into this game now. Yurchuk with a goal kick, 53rd minute. De Beer with a yellow card to his name. Willis collects it. Forward to Mayer. He needs a runner. Jallo needs to be that runner, and he doesn't bother doing it. We've managed to get the ball back, though, through Rodriguez. Mortensen. Jallo on the right-hand side. He cuts inside, invites the fullback forward. Mortensen's got some space to run into, finds Mayer on the floor, and Mayer puts that into the bottom corner. His 17th goal of the season. We really need to get him tied down to a longer deal. He does have a slightly longer deal. It's now up until December, but that's still not long enough. We need to get him down on a proper contract. Hvdore have it with their keeper, who's eventually kicked it upfield. Carlson to Clement. Gomez needs to get there first. Instead, he's now out of position. That's not good. Clement crosses, finds that man's name. It's a good save from Yurchuk. And it's not the end of the highlight either. So, the Ukrainian in goal. What are you going to do? One of our oldest players, I think, our second oldest, obviously behind Eddie Gomez. Montano flicks the head on. Mayer's in on goal. No support, obviously. Goes for goal. And again, I think that's the second time we've seen him do it from a ridiculously tight angle. Mayer makes it 4-1. Right, now you don't get a red card either, mate, because we can do with, like, keeping 10 players on the pitch. We're going to do just one change. Victor Tramberg's coming on for Tim De Beer, and that's more because De Beer has a yellow card. He is technically the worst performing player on the pitch for us, but he's doing all right at 6'8". Final 20 minutes, Tramberg with a free kick. Winfield, he's going to go for a lump upfield, finds Jallow, the two Barnsley players combining. Rodriguez tries to get some space backwards all the way to Eddie Gomez, who probably should be coming off the pitch as well. Willis to Winfield. There's 3 in the box. Jallow's 1, Mayer's another, and Mateo Mayer has managed to somehow get himself a hat-trick when we were down to 10 men. And straight after the goal, it's into another highlight. I said earlier that this is going to be a long episode. It's like 15 minutes before we even kicked off this game. This match is now probably going to add another 10 minutes onto it. Jurchuk to Tramberg. Winfield. What are you going to do? To Willis in the middle. I think Willis and Rodriguez have played pretty well. I think Rodriguez arguably has done more. Mayer's got the ball. Montano on the left. Mayer's in the middle. Can he get his 4th? Mateo Mayer gets his 4th. No, he doesn't. It's been disallowed. Right, let's do some more changes. Gomez is going to come off. We don't have any other centre-backs. So maybe... I mean, can you play as a centre-back? Yes, we're going for it. Right. So we're going to stick Rodriguez in centre-back. We're going to do Strunk coming on in the middle of the pitch because Strunk is obviously very good. We're going to take Mayer off as well for Jack Butterfield. I think we'll do that for now. No, we won't. We'll also do Winfield for Markanic as well. I think this might be Markanic's first appearance for us. He missed a lot of the season because of an injury, but I'm hoping he's still good enough to play for us. It is Havdore with the ball in a decent position. Plays it across to Jakobsen. Lots of space to just walk straight into. Jurchuk is there to easily save that. I'm not sure how that was a highlight. Also, I'm not sure how they even got in that position. Final 5 minutes. Havdore crosses the ball in. Jurchuk with a one-handed save. But Rasmus Vinderslev is there to pick up the pieces. It's 5-2. Since we put Rodriguez in centre-back, we've been awful, haven't we? I feel like he's just massively out of position all the time. Over the 90, but we have still got another chance. Willis to Mortensen, the right back in a weird position. Montano is there, and Lionel Montano gets a goal. It's 6-2 against Havdore. Well, that was certainly an interesting game of football, wasn't it? 6-2 in the end, a red card after just 21 minutes. When we were 2-0 up, a hat-trick from Mayer, arguably should have got 4 as well. Mortensen getting an 8.9, Montano a 9.1. Debuts as well for Willis, and obviously I've forgotten his name, Rodriguez in the middle of the pitch. Mateo Mayer finishing the match on a 9.9. No time to hang around, we've got one more game to play before we go into the promotion stage. Let's jump straight into it. It's first versus second. This is realistically a good litmus test to see how good we realistically are when it comes to the promotion stage. If we can win, we are in the driving seat for actually finishing second place and getting promoted, and arguably in a title fight. It is going to be Jurchuk, Mortensen, De Beer, Gomez and Winfield. Strunk returns to the starting 11 alongside Rodriguez. Jallo Montano, Butterfield comes in for the suspended Holton, and it is going to be Mayer obviously up front alongside him. Form-wise, Viborg are on 5 wins out of 5. We are on 4 wins. Damn, we're on 4 wins out of 5. 1 loss in the middle of that as well. We can do this. We are definitely good enough to pick up some points from Viborg, and I think if we can do that, we should be in a good position, right? We are definitely the second best team in the league. Viborg are the best team. We're the second best team in the league. But that should be good enough to get us promoted. And by should be, it will be if we actually finish second place. Gomez with a kick up field. We are 7 minutes in. Gomez, it goes over Gomez's head to Divkovic. Said to Groning. Groning's effort goes over the bar. First chance goes to Viborg. And then 20-ish minutes have passed without any further chances. We are seeing Jurchuk getting some good numbers, so they're getting the chances for themselves, Viborg are, that is, but we're not seeing anything happening. Winfield collects it for us. 3-4 in the box. Mayer's one of them. Heads over the bar. Wasn't ever really going to score a headed effort from there. 33rd minute. And it is Viborg again with the ball. Did we sell anybody to Viborg? I don't think we did. Mayer's nicked it there. Jallo, he's got the ball stuck in his feet, but somehow comes away with it. De Beer to Mortensen. Jallo's not going to get there. Instead, it's towards Butterfield. It's intercepted by Mortensen, and he loses out to Groning. And now it's back to another Groning. And now Clem's ball over the top. Divkovic is being chased down by De Beer. De Beer's actually managed to block that. The keeper's pulled off a spectacular save. And Divkovic, though, can still manage to finish that one. We got unlucky there. De Beer, sorry. Look at this chasing back from De Beer. Gets a block in. Then Jurchuk does that. For an aging goalkeeper, that's pretty special. But nobody's there other than Divkovic to pick up the pieces. Still not close to half-time. We are literally minutes after the goal from Viborg. Butterfield to Rodriguez. Ball over the top. Mayer chests it down. Has to score. Does score. Does the flag stay down? I think it does. Matteo Meyer makes it 1-1. Instant response from Esbjerg. Lund with a goal kick, still not quite at half-time. About 5 minutes left to play. Said with the ball, goes for a long ranger over the bar. They're saying that I should get De Beer to man-mark Divkovic because he's getting a lot of space. And I'm genuinely thinking that could be a good idea. Half-time, it is 1-1. Viborg are the better team. They are playing well. We've done well controlling possession, apparently. That's what I've decided to say to them. We've done no changes. Winfield maybe needs to come off. Jallo is not really impacting the game at all, is he? Dropping down to a 6-3. Butterfield, Montano struggling as well. Second half has been uneventful, I think, is the way to put it. We're going to take Jallo off as he's on a 6.2. We're going to do Shandon, I think. And then we're also going to do Montano for Shivani Willis. Now, he can't play there, but he can play there. It's basically the same position, right? All the action seemed to happen in the first half. Nothing at all has happened in the second half. We've got 10 minutes to play, and we've got the ball through Mortensen to Strunk. On the ground is Hopu. He's gone into the area, and he's been fouled. It's a penalty. Who's stepping up? Is it Meyer? It's number 40. I should know squad numbers. It is Matteo Meyer stepping up. He's gone to the bottom right. The keeper chose well, but could not stop the ball. We have taken the lead with 10 minutes to play. Right, and we don't ever really do this, but I think it's time. We're going to drop to 5 at the back. Do we want a sweeper? What's a libero? I never know what any position it actually is. Let's do a libero on support. That could be the worst decision we've ever made. We can do one more stoppage if we want to do the rest of our subs, and I think we're probably going to do that. 2 subs then. Anthony Markanic is coming on. Calvin McCurry also coming on for Meyer, which might be a bad decision. We've got a highlight, but I think this is just because of the subs. Into the final couple of seconds, the full-time whistle goes. That is a massive win. That is an absolutely massive win. Matteo Meyer is single-handedly dragging us into the top tier of Danish football. As we round out this episode, we've picked up some money for some reason, £181,000. We also picked up £363,000 as well, literally earlier on in the day. We're still having issues, aren't we? We're definitely still having issues, but we are now sat second place in the table. We are 3 points clear of third. It's a 3-horse race for 2 promotion positions, and we are we're actually leading that race at the moment. And next up, we do play Koga, who are the team in third place. That is going to be a very, very big match. So I think we are going to come back in the next episode direct into that game, because that could potentially decide how things go.